Welcome to episode 52 of the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast. This is our second go at it after recording 20 minutes just now and not pressing fucking record. There's only one place to start this week, and that's with corporate mercenary punk. And Brett, you've got a fucking good bit for us.
For corporate man punk, for Charles Montgomery punk, for chick magnet punk, we all know what the deal over this past weekend in Saudi Arabia. He made his triumphant debut. You know, he made his apology to the fans. You know, definitely wasn't a plant or set up. Nope. It was 100% legitimate, 100% real. But throughout all the news throughout the weekend with his main event against John Cena, him losing, in my opinion, that wasn't even the biggest news that came out. You know, we know about the dirt sheets always leaking news bits here and there, but the dirtiest of the dirt sheets, they somehow got their hands on a little 30-second little snippet of a new remix of Cult of Personality, the famous song that CM Punk enters to. And guess what? I happen to know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who works in the mailroom at the dirtiest of the dirt sheets, who got me that clip. So you guys want to hear the lyrics? 30-second bit?
Do I?
I've never heard this before, Brett. Go for it. I'm really excited.
I'm sure it won't be any more horrifying the second time, Brett.
Me.
It might be worse.
Drum roll.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. Look in my eyes. What do you see? A cult of hypocrisy. I know you're angry. I see your pain. But look at all this Saudi money. Oh, I'm a cult of hypocrisy. Like Hulk Hogan and Barbara Ray. Oh, I'm a cult of hypocrisy. A cult of hypocrisy. A cult of hypocrisy. And cut and boom. Sign me for my great angelic voice, and can't wait till it gets released on iTunes. All right, let's get the show back on the road.
Do you know what, Brett? At least you're pretty. You have that going for you.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I have no words.
It's no worse than my karaoke attempts.
My karaoke is fantastic when I do the final countdown. It's better than that. Sorry, Brett.
No, listen, I know what my strengths are in this world, and my vocal talents are not one of them, but it's totally okay. I mean, listen, you say final countdown. When I go to England, we find a karaoke spot, we'll sing that together, my friend.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I will join in. I have no talent whatsoever, but I make up for lack of talent with volume and enthusiasm and ill-deserved confidence.
That's
karaoke to a T.
MC back in the early noughties, so I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I fully believe that.
Mike can go backup dancer.
I actually wasn't a very good garage MC. I haven't got a very good voice, but I tried. Just like breakfast then, I fucking tried.
Anyway, we should be talking about the AEW main event. We got onto that somehow before we stopped recording and looked like dickheads, didn't we?
We did.
We did.
Yeah.
How?
Because we were talking about how
interference.
Interference.
That's what we said. I don't really want to talk about Night of Champions anymore because it wasn't well received. But we were saying that I was actually defending CM Punk for once, saying that it's not his fault or John Cena's fault that there was a load of interference, because every fucking WWE main event just has interference. It's his booking. It's what he's got. Main event, let's overbook it. And we were saying that there is a fear that we may get something similar at All In, which is very possible. However, I think it'll be a lot different, because I don't think the interference will be someone coming into the ring, kicking someone in the balls, hitting someone with the title. I think it'll be bad guys coming in, good guys intercepting them.
Yeah, we said that I don't mind interference as long as the final blow and the finish is Hangman and Mox, and it's clean.
We also said that the Hangman Ospreay match was like a football match for some of us.
Yes,
but we've done all that. We've done all that, so should we just do something else? Because I can't be asked going over the same shit.
Yeah. You did say we all agreed that Brandon Cutler is the greatest wrestler to ever lace up a pair of boots.
That never
happened. That was said by
don't...
everybody. I distinctly remember it. To share
we were all
recall.
extremely excited about the imminent return of Chris Jericho to Judas.
I am excited about that.
I'm fucking buzzing. I'm wearing a wizard t-shirt. Chris Jericho's a fucking wizard. Throw a fireball in your face.
I would be honoured to be burned alive by a fireball from Chris Jericho.
I wouldn't go that far, like.
Oh, I'm lying. I'm lying for effect and attention, Andy. That's what we do.
Remember every week when he was just like
content
random.
creators.
Remember every week he was just randomly like threatening whoever he was in a feud with, like, "Oh, I'll throw a fireball in your face," like just
It came out of nowhere. That was right.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what Jericho does when he comes back, because this will probably be the final reinvention.
I think so, and as much as I'd like him to go back to the champion kind of gimmick with Judas, he hates going back to the old gimmicks. That's why he said before he hates it when people chant Y2J. He fucking hates that because he said Y2J's gone. He hates that. So what is he going to do? Who knows?
Yeah, I love the Lionheart, but there's no way he could go back to that now.
That's good with just small, like, you know, the odd
And then
revisit,
he
isn't it?
brings him out.
He's had 2-3 months off. That's enough time for him to say, right, this is the final one. He knows the last one didn't hit home anywhere near as well as previous ones do. He's not going to want to go out with a whimper, and his career should not go out on a whimper. It shouldn't go out on the learning tree stuff, because although I didn't like it as much as you, Andy, but I didn't dislike it anywhere near as much as other people did.
Oh, I didn't love it, mate.
Go out with a bang.
I didn't love it. It was just, for me, it was very up and down. There was some great parts. There was some brilliant parts. There was some terrible parts.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when it went full on Mr. Tumble children's TV presenter, and he's like kind of constantly, dumbing down everything. But like when there was the sinister side to it, it was fucking great. He should have fucking really pushed on with that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him coming back. I know he's going to come back to a pop if he's got Judas, but after that, a slightly more evil, sinister, master manipulator type gimmick. I like a bad guy, Chris Jericho.
He's a mid-carder, and you know what? Like, as much as we've joked about like the TNT title being dead, I actually think he'd be the kind of person at that level. If we're not going to go with a Carl Fletcher, if Carl Fletcher is going to be maybe held to higher standards and in a higher bracket, if you want someone who's going to give a bit of kind of something to that title, like Christian Cage did, fucking a rejuvenated Jericho with Judas defending that title wouldn't be a bad thing. Putting someone over eventually.
Ricochet's looking for allies, isn't he? What's the chances of?
I think Jericho will be his own. I think he'd be his own. I think he's just before that evolution stage where Flair was like the sidekick to a big man. I think Jericho's not at that point yet. Maybe he should be, but I just think he won't. I think he still feels he can. I mean, I don't know why we've got onto this, but if you ever listen to him interviewed, like, he's not the kind of all about me, I'm the hog that people kind of seem to think he is. I mean, he does genuinely think what he's doing is helping talents. Sometimes it probably isn't. A lot of the time it really does. So
look what he's done for Big Bill. Big Bill was nowhere on TV for ages.
Yeah, and the same with Brian Keith. I mean, a lot of people will be saying Brian Keith was, Brian Keith was better on his own. Maybe he was, but no one gave a fuck.
No.
That's the problem. And like, I don't know, people, the whole Jericho Vortex thing's done to death. It's, I mean, he tried his best to get Hook over, and that's a fucking tough task. Whether he was over, whether he was over by the end or not is, we'll probably have a different view on that. But he really tried to get him over in that feud, and I'm not sure it actually worked, to be honest. But I'm not sure he was any better at the end of it. Like, because I felt very forced to try and get Hook over with the FCW during that. But I did love him robbing the FCW though. That was fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how we got into this. That wasn't on the agenda.
No.
I was just wearing a wizard
Wait,
t-shirt.
have we got an agenda?
Well, we had a rough
You got a
one.
list?
We don't have an agenda. We just hey.
We just going with the flow right now. Speaking with the flow, do we want to go into Dynamite? Quick review on that.
Should we go into Progress?
Shall we?
Mm-hmm. Have you got the card there, and we'll run through the card because it was a fucking fantastic event. We went to Progress. I was there. Lucy was there.
The card, yeah.
And
it was excellent.
It was excellent. It's a fantastic show. There's a couple of matches that were worse than others. I don't like to drag on them too much, to be honest. But Shotzi, that match, I felt like it suffered, and you could tell that she was injured. But fair fucks to her for going out there and giving it a go. And she actually, it was a passable match considering she's got a fucking broken arm, and she could have easily cried off. And I was like afterwards being like, she should have cried off and had it later. But then when you see the reactions of all the fans who've queued up to see her and stuff, and they're all crying, it's like, you can't fucking take that away from people. But yeah, no, that match. What did you think of that match? I thought it was all right, but it was clearly hampered by the broken arm.
Oh, it was absolutely. I'm a big Shotzi Blackheart fan, have been for a long time, and I know she can wrestle better than that, but I don't know that she can perform. Well, or anyone can perform much better than that. She really, really went for it, showing that she was struggling with the arm, and you had Nina being her. Have I gone blurry? I'm so excited by Shotzi, I've gone blurry. You had Nina going after the arm and everything as well. No, it wasn't the best match she's ever done, but I absolutely love that she came over, that she did it. And I don't know if you saw, she joined the conga line.
Yeah,
during the break. She was at ringside selling shirts, taking pictures of anybody that wanted them. Her line was 10 times
She had
longer
the biggest
than any
queue
other.
there, yeah.
She was absolutely amazing with everyone. I didn't get to meet her, unfortunately. I'd love to one day, but yeah, she seemed absolutely wonderful. I'm going to try and sort this out.
Speaking of the conga line, Lana was leading the conga line, and she just fucked off and left the money and all that with the fucking merch. We realised after that she was halfway around the ring, and we were like, she's left her money there. Some fucking cunt might rob this. But no, they didn't anyway. But Lana was fantastic. That was one of my favourite matches of the night. Lana against Kanji. Went on. It was a really long match as well. I don't know what the actual time was, but it felt like it was a good 25 minutes or so. And it got to the point where as much as I thought and knew that Kanji was nailed on because of the whole retirement angle, or leaving progress angle, I at one point actually started to really think Lana was going to win. I thought maybe they'll just do a double loss and Lana's going to win here, because it was brilliant. The two of them are excellent, completely different wrestlers, and I could watch them all day.
Yeah, I assumed we were getting a double loss because it never occurred to me Shotzi might lose, but she did. She took the loss, which was astonishing to me. So and now I have no idea which of them is going to win going into that loser leaves. Because I thought I knew that Rio was losing and going, and I was wrong. So it shows what I know about anything.
I for me, I would like Kanji to lose, but only because I would like AEW to have her in the Ring of Honor Pure tournament. But
absolutely,
that's not going to happen, is it? But it should do, because she's fucking brilliant. And the opening match was fantastic as well. That was really good. Man like DeReiss came out to an incredible reception, as he gets everywhere because he's fucking brilliant. Ethan Allen. Ethan Allen hits like a motherfucker. That was a very stiff match. Man like DeReiss on top most of the time. Ethan Allen was playing to the crowd, getting no support, bizarrely, even though he's a homeboy. And it was good, really hard hitting match. Man like DeReiss was always going to win. He was always on top, but I enjoyed it. It was a great way to kick the night off, or the day off.
Yeah, definitely. Opening and closing with DeReiss, I think, made him feel like such a big deal.
Yeah.
I buy into everything, you know me. I bite at every bit of bait dangle, but now I'm convinced that he's taken the title from Luke.
He should be.
Just because of how cool he looked when he came out at the end, and did you see him with the little kid with the glasses and everything?
Yeah, that was class.
That was so sweet. I absolutely love DeReiss. He's absolutely one of my top guys, and I think he should take the title from Luke. He never misses.
But bear in mind, if you ask me that tomorrow, I'll say no, he shouldn't do. So, it's one of them. I don't know, essentially.
Luke's in my bad books, so
he's brilliant. And so they were They were three of the first four matches, and what was the fourth match? I can't remember.
Was it
fourth match? Oh yeah, that's right. It was Lycos fucking Jim. Yes.
Screw you guys. And Lycos Jim.
I told you what was going to happen. I told you exactly what was going to happen. Sunshine Machine and no more. That's it. It's over.
It is not over. It is never over. I'm wearing my Sunshine Machine hat. I am wearing my Sunshine Machine shirt. I have a Sunshine Machine scarf, but even I am not dedicated to
sunshine anymore.
Please don't take my sunshine
Ain't
away.
No sunshine when she comes.
No, it started with a fucking cheap shot and it got worse from there.
It wasn't a cheap shot at all.
Oh, it was.
Wrestling.
Should have done the fine fucking Nick.
That was not.
Yeah, he should have had better reflexes. Moved out the way.
Lucy, it's okay.
It was
It's okay.
disgraceful behaviour
Ain't no
from
sunshine anymore.
I will cry, and we'll all feel uncomfortable.
It's the fucking Brett karaoke episode there now, three. You got any more hits on the line, Brett?
If there's one thing I'm good at, It's
we just
making a
started.
scene.
I'll save some of the better hits for later.
I can make a scene better than anyone else. Okay, don't fucking test me. I'm struggling.
Sunshine Machine had a great run in progress. A fantastic run. Fair play to them. One match as champions, one loss. Yeah, exactly. One match, one loss. What a fucking great run. Lycos Gym every day of the week. They should go and take all the tag titles now. Temple and Malum next. Take the TNT ones.
Absolute nerve of you. Did you not see that match?
Yeah, it was fucking brilliant. It was a lesson.
That was a bad Lycos. That was a big bad shit wolf doing naughty shit wolf things when he had him in the corner and he was just booting the hell out. No, that was terrible. They did not deserve that win. Sunshine Machine deserve a rematch.
The Outrunners were proud of Lycos Gym for winning that.
Just as they're
going to beat the shit out of FTR in this week.
Outraged Outrunners. And look at Sunshine Machine. They are clearly Outrunner coded. Lycos and FTR adjacent.
Which one of the Outrunners looks like the fucking dude from Something About Mary?
The gear. Do you know what? That is it. Right, hold on. I'm calling for backup. I've had it with you lot. I've heard quite enough from you people about Lycos Gym. We're not going to talk about the Lycoses.
When you got a problem with Sunshine Machine, Lycos Gym will fix it.
Did we decide what the plural of Lycos was at any point?
Lycosis. Oh, fucking
Lycae?
What
sounds
about
like a dinosaur.
A Lycos with like an apostrophe at the end, maybe?
That'll be Lycoses then. Or is it like just Lycos, like cheap? It's the same singular and plural.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll come back to this match because we're clearly not going to agree on it. So the next match was... What was the first match after the break?
Was it Holly No.
It was what, Mike?
The Proteus four-way. Yeah,
that was very quick, wasn't it? It was over really quick, I thought. Everyone got a spot. I thought... what's his name? Jack... What's his name? My mind's gone blank.
Oh, it's from Noah.
Jack Morris, you mean?
He was fucking brilliant. He was incredible.
He was good, isn't he?
Oh, fuck yeah. He was so good. I'm a big fan now already. I'd never really watched much of him before, but he stole the show for me in that match. It was decent back and forth. The fucking Max was playing the heel. Everyone hates him anyway, so whatever,
Yeah.
Works. Simon Miller. Slipped on the floor, still carried on. Slapped his head a few times. Hit a fantastic looking spear on Max did. And then Crowley just fucking crawls away and fucking robs the win. Fucking cheeky twat.
I was on the opposite side of the ring, and the way he was running towards a spear, and I had my husband actually went, oh shit. I was like, nope, defend me. Because when Simon Miller hit
so you threw him in front for the spear?
I was willing to sacrifice him. As it happened,
fucking disgrace.
There was no need. The people in front of me, they didn't look that strong. I was like, normally I rely on them.
Typical Sunshine Machine fan. So, yeah, anyway, the next match.
Well, I will point out that we had a bet. We made a bet last week about who would win this four-way. And we decided that whoever picked the right person didn't have to buy their own drinks at Forbidden Door.
Oh, I said Simon Miller.
Andy jumped in and picked Simon Miller before anyone else could, which meant I got Crowley. And who won? Who won, boys? Who won?
Yeah, but the best thing is you don't drink alcohol.
I don't. I do want a pint of Coke. Pepsi is not okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, who's turning up with a 24 box of Coke?
Pepsi's fucking weak anyway. Fuck Pepsi.
Pepsi is a cheap pop.
Yeah.
Pepsi had its time back in 2021 for a few months, but then 2022, the taste of Pepsi just soured amongst a large portion. You can't get it now.
Last time I went to the shop for a nice, refreshing kind of Pepsi, turned out it had sold out.
Pepsi is
you can only
old.
Get the vanilla version.
It's fucking tired, and it's working with children.
Goes nice with a muffin, though. All right.
And the next match after that was... What was the next match?
Well, actually, let's go back because I believe my backup has just arrived. Hello, darling. Hello. Beautiful Adina. It is wonderful to have someone sensible and clever on the podcast with excellent taste.
Joy in my heart.
Before we jump back and explain to the boys why they are absolutely 100% wrong, should we talk about the rest of the show for a little bit? Can we talk about Holly Barlow?
Was that the next match, was it?
I don't know. I just always like to talk about Holly Barlow.
Well,
I
we
think
can go
so.
straight on to
Oh, was
it?
it?
There was another match, but we can
Charlie
go on to that.
Sterling.
Charlie Sterling against RPD. Charlie Sterling is Mel's favourite wrestler. I don't know why. Probably because he's a good-looking bloke with fantastic hair. I think he should be a future champion. He's fantastic. And he absolutely destroyed RPD. It was like a prolonged squash, that match, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, but I wasn't bored for any of it. RPD, wasn't it his first time at Progress?
Yeah.
He got a great reception.
Surely, yeah. He was... how did he come across on the stream, Mike?
Good. The stream, to be honest, the crowd was awful on stream. For big chunks of it, you couldn't hear the crowd. It was very muted. So you had the commentary sort of putting the crowd over, but it wasn't coming across on stream, so it was a bit weird in that regard. But you could kind of tell that there was a big reaction for RPD.
That's weird because Andy, I don't know if you thought that, but I thought the crowd were really good.
No, the crowd was fantastic.
Oh no, that's what I know. The crowd were great because I could see on Twitter, but on the stream you couldn't hear them.
Huh? Because where were you sitting, Odina? Were you down in the sort of the scrum with me, or were you up on the balcony with Andy?
Yeah, I was literally front row, got front row seat of everything that happened. But I know other people who were watching from home, and they said the same thing. They said the mix was difficult at times.
It's an indie issue, that, 'cause it's the same with a lot of indie shows, isn't it? I know on Thriller, TNT suffers the same, even though you can hear us screaming for Bullet. Most of the time, you don't get the full effect of how good the crowd is.
Definitely. We can hear you screaming for Bullet miles away. He is
not as much as you can hear me screaming for Darwin.
Oh, God, you and Darwin.
But it's no, it was. I like that. It was a prolonged squash. Couple of great kickouts from RPD after it looked like Charlie Sterling had absolutely murdered him, and he kept going, kept going, and yeah, Charlie finished him off in the end. It was always going to happen, but it was good. It was a good outing as good an outing as you could get without winning on your Progress debut, I think.
Absolutely. I want to talk about just one spot that they did in it. The whole thing, Charlie Sterling looked like a total beast. Yeah. But there was one where he suplexed RPD off the road, the turnbuckle, onto the mat. And that was the most the ring moved that entire night. Where we were sitting, we were in the second row. And it shook. Every single person in that row just went, oof, as he hit that mat. And RPD's not like the biggest wrestler, but just the way they absolutely slammed down. Charlie Sterling is a proper beast.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Holly Barlow now?
Go for it, yeah.
Yes.
I forgot that she was on. For some reason, I thought it was Rio against someone. I just completely lost track of what was going on. And then, when Rio come out and sat down, I was like, what the fuck's going on here? I completely forgot.
To you later. She was out with Lana with the sign.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. Did she come over to your side, Odena? Because I think, were you opposite?
Yeah, she did, but she didn't come over. I think she was the only one that didn't come over, so we didn't see I couldn't see the sign.
She ended up standing right next to where we were, and she had a sign, a double-sided sign. One said Lally Forever, which I 100% subscribe to, and the other was pointing down, and it was Lana's best friend. And the whole time she was standing there, she was jumping up and down, she was waving the sign, and she's absolutely incredible. And then how Lana repaired her. Lana Austin, you are literally Satan.
She's a national treasure. You can't say that about Lana Austin.
I can't. I love Lana. I would die for Lana Austin, but my God, she is evil. I need it. Holly Barlow was, she was wrestling Alexis Falcon, who is fantastic. But I will never, ever not cheer Holly. She's my favourite wrestler at the minute. And yeah, Lana came out. I thought she was going to come and help her best friend, but instead she was just there to be a distraction. And poor Holly got thumped. I was disgusted. It was the second worst miscarriage of justice of the night. So, Odena, What's your opinion on Lana Austin's disgraceful treatment of Holly Barlow?
You see, I'm relatively, because I don't do TNT, I'm relatively new to, obviously I know Lana, but the whole Holly, like, I've only picked up the bits that are at Progress. But I am confused as to how anyone could treat Holly so badly, as she seems an absolute sweetheart. But then it's Lana, so I am not surprised.
That's true. I heard that in her spare time for fun, Lana Austin kicks baby pandas through giant electric fans.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Nothing wrong with that.
Fuck those pandas.
She gets a pass on that, yeah.
Anyone
else? No, it's great. The storyline they've been doing with the two, and they're clearly going to tag at some point. And then eventually, because I like evil things, I think that eventually it's going to be great when Holly eventually turns on Lana. When the tables are turned down the line.
Yes.
But it's great. She just follows around like a lost puppy. It's brilliant. Lana telling her to go away at every turn. It's great.
Because that is also how I try to make friends, Holly, by being creepy and weird and clingy. And with signs. Friend. It's just, it's a cuter version of Better Than You, Baby, and I'm absolutely here for it. What else did we have? Is that it except for the main event?
Yeah, we discussed the first couple of matches. What did you think of the first? Because you went on then. What did you think of the first three matches, not the fourth?
I thought the first match was really good. I was in a unusual position because I was Team Ethan for once, just for my own reasons. But it's never normal to be. I made a pact with the devil to get her to make some noise for my guys, and in response, there was no way I was going to not cheer for Cara. So Ethan was the lesser of two.
Is the devil Charlie in this situation?
The devil Charlie.
Girl Charlie, yeah. We nearly had a fight in the bathroom.
Yeah.
We ran into each other in the toilets.
On this occasion, we were on the same side, so it was all fine. But yeah, that was a fantastic match. For many reasons, I felt the order of it was a bit strange, so I thought that was a great opener. And I understand why the other things were like in the order that they were, but I was not ready for the tag match when it happened. And I can't remember what the other two matches were.
It was the other two women's matches, but I agreed. I thought the order was a bit strange. I would have had the Holly Barlow match earlier and the Lana Kanji and Shotzi Nina one later on myself, personally. Yeah,
I would have swapped those. Again, always love Kanji. Kanji is one of my absolute faves, so and it's always nice to see Kanji at a Progress show as well, because she was on the first couple of shows that I went to that were not Progress, so it's a nice link for me.
Who do you have as leaving Progress then, Nina or Kanji? And what do you think the chances are one of them is signed somewhere? Because I was so sure Rio had signed with the Fed and was off, but shows what I know.
I mean, again, I don't know anything. I think it might be Nina, if only because I don't think Kanji's going. I mean, she might go from Progress, but I don't think she's going from BritWres anywhere anytime soon, because of the work she's been doing at Rev Pro. I think is fantastic, and I think it feels like they're still building her to the greatness.
I think my theory has been that she could get a shot at this Ring of Honor Pure title, the women's Pure title.
Amazing.
But just because there's a working relationship between Rev Pro and AEW, and I think it would be a fantastic match you could throw on Forbidden Door.
Yeah,
it would. But Nina has worked with AEW before. She was there at the Collision. Her and Lycos too.
Yeah, not alone.
Boo! Boo!
Boo!
Boo! In fact, before we talk about the main event, I think, Odana, how about you and me have a little chat? I think we've heard quite enough from the boys for now.
I'm going to have to mute myself on this because I won't be able to resist.
In fact, maybe I should. Yeah, let's mute the boys. Let's mute the boys. And let's have a little chat about Sunshine Machine. Okay, first of all, I want to show off my amazing Sunshine Machine hat and my Sunshine Machine shirt. I have a Sunshine Machine scarf, but it's too hot even. I'm not that dedicated. And I have Sunshine Machine stickers, one of which is a gift for Alyssa when she comes over. What about you? Tell me your favourite thing about Sunshine Machine, and while we ignore the boys.
I mean, I couldn't even pick a single thing because it's just everything about them. It is. They were on the first show that I ever went to, and they were there was 2 sets of people that I walked away remembering, and it was Mambo's glitter, Teeks' coat, and Leighton Buzzard. So I have loved them ever since. I have followed them to Soft Pro. I have followed them to Progress. I have followed them to Attack. I'm not going to reel them all off. I followed them to Ceasefire. I've done my time.
I have seen them in so many promotions. My favourite thing to do when they're on early is to spend the rest of the show trying to spot Mambo glitter on all the other wrestlers. My favourite thing is if I ever manage to see it on Luke Jacobs, because for some reason glittery Luke Jacobs pops me. I've seen them in so many promotions. There was only one time I didn't cheer for them, and that was in UPW. They were fighting my other absolute favourite indie tag team, TBA, and I could not pick. I was wearing Sunshine Machine merch. There was a picture of me backstage at that with them each sort of trying to drag me to either side, but I couldn't choose. Otherwise, Sunshine Machine. So we're in agreement then on the Groupchat Wrestling Podcast. Anyone speak up if you have an issue. Oh, they can't because they're muted. Yeah. Sunshine Machine, greatest tag team of all time. Yes.
Without question, they are literally the greatest team. You can't deny it. You can't fight it. It's in the name.
It rhymes. The greatest team. TK, Mambo, Sunshine Machine. Everything that rhymes is true.
True.
Andy, it's sad.
I mean, irrelevant. Absolutely
it's
irrelevant.
Down. Yeah. Outrunners are Sunshine Machine coded, actually. When you look at the gear, when you look at the vibe, I think the Outrunners would like to grow up to be Sunshine Machine.
Who wouldn't like to grow up to be Sunshine Machine? Honestly.
Keep training.
All we should aspire to. Anyone should aspire to.
Okay. And on that note, should we let them come back? Because I'm quite enjoying this. I think we'll make this a regular
I don't want to start talking about that match. So
come on back. We're finished. We're finished. That is the most fun I've ever had on this show.
I do not want to grow up to be Sunshine Machine. The Outrunners are the best tag team in the world, unless Leonardo Darwin gets a tag team going, in which case they will be equal the best. And like us, 1 fair and square. That's all I have to say.
You could not see anything from where you were sat. I'm not having these people with no view saying, "Oh, it was fair and square." It was literally this far away from me. I could see what he did, and what he did was cheat, like the little shit wolf that he is.
It's a skill issue. Skill issue. Should have moved out the way of the knee.
He didn't know that it was a packed knee. If it was just his normal knee, his absolutely weak and uninspiring normal knee, he would have been able to kick out in a second. He just didn't feel the need to because he didn't know he was cheating.
I disagree. I think Sunshine Machine probably should have been disqualified at the start because Mambo tried to stab one of them with his hair. And I feel like that should have been an instant disqualification anyway. So for me, like us, 1 fair and square. It was they were doing it. It was the right result in the end.
Attempted hair murder.
Yeah, he'd had that much hairspray on that. It was a deadly weapon. That could have been a Columbo episode. That Columbo would have turned up with his brown paper bag and a bottle of hairspray. And he went, "Oh, Mambo, just one more thing." All the while he's going, "Oh, Mambo, I'm a big fan of Sunshine Machine. My wife's a great fan. Oh, Mambo, just one more thing." That's what would have happened. Instead, we don't need to watch that episode because Peter Falk is dead. What a legend. But also because Lycos got the win, as they should have done.
Horrifying scenes at the O2 Ritz as Mambo goes on a rampage, stabbing people like a deranged unicorn.
It would have been a Zidane-like headbutt.
I assume that's some sports ball reference.
Yeah, Wrestling Mark would have got that.
Wrestling Mark is being very quiet. I know he's a closet Sunshine Machine fan.
Yeah,
fucking not be.
Yeah,
I know Mike is as well.
I am whatever Andy tells me to be.
Yes. There you go.
I noticed Dan's not here today.
No, Dan is the biggest Sunshine Machine fan in the world. So is Mike. Mike has left now. He was so overwhelmed with love for Sunshine Machine that he's turned his
Mike was singing "Ain't No Sunshine" as soon as they fucking lost.
I don't think so. No, he was singing "Don't Take My Sunshine Away" is what we were singing.
Okay.
So the main event. How good was the main event?
Yeah,
the main event was amazing.
Until we do the main event.
Oh yeah, I can say.
Excellent. It was
amazing.
Brilliant. All timer, one of the best matches I've seen this year, live or otherwise. The only match I didn't manage to get any clips of because as soon as the bell started, I didn't even got my phone.
All I got was Luke Jacobs holding the belt and waving at his mum at the end. That's the only clip I got because like we were stood
with his family, weren't you?
Yeah, we were stood right next to his family, and like we didn't know until a bit later on. Just and when the match started, they were all like really tense and kind of. And so Mel was like more fixated on the family in the end. She was like fascinated by the reactions of his mum, all the emotional roller coaster his mum was on through that entire match. Oh, it's great. It was such an emotionally charged atmosphere. Luke Jacobs is phenomenal. Cara Noir's phenomenal. The crowd didn't know who they wanted to win, although I'd say it was mostly Luke Jacobs, wasn't it, at that point, because Cara Noir was playing up towards it. It was great. It was fantastic. I loved it. Luke Jacobs doing his screaming at him, old timer. Come on, old timer. He does that at every show. He's brilliant.
Absolutely fantastic. I was rooting for Cara Noir because I don't think there is anyone in the world that I would cheer for over Cara Noir. Unless Brandon Cutler finally got his ass to Progress. And even then, I would struggle. But by the end, yeah, even I was kind of rooting for Luke because Cara was getting nasty. And I will claim to my dying day, this is the first time Luke has beaten Cara because that last one didn't count. Because he just collapsed on him. But to get Cara to tap, like...
That's so good.
Yeah. Although when he bit his feet, nasty little bastard Luke.
I think that's when his mum had the worst reaction, to be honest. But you're right on Cara Noir getting a bit nasty. Like he really he played it so well because he knew exactly what to do to get the crowd to kind of like almost not want him to win. And he played right into that kind of character shift to the point where I was thinking this is almost like a double turn at one point. And like a temporary double turn, but it was great. It was so well done. And I before I let you carry on, that kick out at one from Luke Jacobs, that was that was a hell of a moment.
God, yeah. The best storytelling in wrestling is done in the ring, and that is one of the best examples I've ever seen of just bell to bell telling a story with chapters. It had chapters. It was absolutely incredible.
I think it was probably, for obvious reasons, my match of the night. It was, I like Luke. I love Luke. How can you not? But I am also a Cara girl,
Same.
completely nutty. Obviously, there are people I would cheer over Cara and have done, but in that instance, you couldn't get me to turn on him. So even with everything that he did, I was still for it. And I didn't think realistically I'd had my faith in myself shaken by what had come before. But I didn't, when I'm going into that match, I thought there's not a chance. And there were so many times when I thought, actually, there's a chance.
Yeah. Oh, they made me believe.
Oh, completely.
They absolutely made me believe. And with Darius coming out at the end, I'm not sure Luke's keeping that title for much longer.
No.
It feels like they're too much of a build up for Darius within the Super Strong style, and then starting this show and ending the show for not. But I don't know. Maybe we could be completely wrong as we often are. But it does feel like they're going that way. But like I said earlier, like for me, you've got to stick the title on Darius. But then if you ask me that tomorrow, I'll tell you can't take it off Luke Jacobs. So I don't fucking know.
I feel like if their match is at 100 volts, that's the Forbidden Door one, right? I think it's just going to be too. It's just going to be too big. It's the biggest weekend. It's just the biggest match that they've built to over the last couple of months. It would be an absolute shock if they didn't swap it over. But once again, they've proven that they're willing to do terrible, terrible things on let terrible things go past. So maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they would.
Well, overall, absolutely love the show. Can't wait for the next one. I will definitely be going, and hopefully it won't be as hot though, because it was hell.
Really enjoyed it. A couple of weakish matches, but like with reasons, like So I mean, you can't count for a broken arm, can you? So
no, the Holly match was too short, but that was because of the whole Lana thing.
Yeah, that was. It was great because Alexis almost looked sorry when she finished.
Yeah.
That was
We
a
were
bit
all
of a weird
sorry.
one at the end. She was strangely sympathetic.
I think we all were. We were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Everyone can see how she's being treated. It's a disgrace. But
Yes.
we can't complain because it's Lana and she gets away with anything. So
She does. After what she did to my beloved Lucy Sky at TNT, if I forgive her that, I'll forgive her anything. Thank you so much for coming on.
That's okay. Anytime you need someone to talk about how great Sunshine Machine are, you know
I
I'm your
will
person.
Definitely take you up on that.
I don't know if we'll ever need that, to be honest, because I don't
No,
think
we
that-
will. We will.
Andy, you need
we
it every single day.
And maybe we can get something sorted for Forbidden Door weekend.
Oh, yes.
I would love to have a
When
chat with
I'm
you
sure
about
by that point they will have even more belts that we can talk about from even more shows.
Many. That would be
Many, many.
fantastic. All right, well, please come back on sometime soon. I'll boot any of these boys off for you. You just say the word.
I know who to start with, but I'm not going to start anything right before I leave.
No, you don't have to say it. I know it's Andy. We won't say anything while he's here.
disgusting.
We'll
this.
talk. We'll chat.
I'm following
Right.
Columbo now.
Bye.
Fine.
You look miserable.
I'm alone again.
Yeah.
I'm alone.
What's going on?
I'm alone.
We're
So,
on the same. We're always on the same page when we're talking about AEW anyway. Apart from when
Yes, we
you're
are.
rooting for the wrong person to become next world champion, but apart from that, we're always on the same page.
So,
So-
next-world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So finishing, the progress essentially was excellent. We've covered that, and as Wrestling Mark says, we're always on the same page, which would lead us to only one next topic: Hangman Adam Page winning this title. It's fantastic, and I thought we would do a quick round table. Who's his next
Ooh.
opponent when he wins? I know we've discussed this ourselves, but who,
F.
you think he's?
But I think that's.
Do you think it's going to be the winner of the casino gauntlet?
I don't like it. You don't like it. I do think it's going to be MJF win. MJF's going to win that, and he's going to. Oh, sorry, I'm saying it right away. And he's going to hold it over him. Like, I hope it's not a cash in. I hope he's just going to say, "I'm going to announce the match. I don't want the cash in. No one wants the cash in. Fuck the cash in. You tried the cash in. The cash in was shit. Don't do the cash in again, man. No more cash ins. So instead of a cash in, a normal thing like I'm going to have this title match at Full Gear or some shit like that. Do that. But he's going to hold it over him for a while, I think, because I think those two have got good chemistry. I think we dipped our fingers in early this year and it was fucking great. Just don't do the cash in. But it's going to be MJF, I think, because I think that those two have got legs to go quite a way with their feud over the next coming years. They again, both of them have got the ability to be wrestling soulmates with almost fucking anyone, and they can do it with each other as well. I think MJF wins. I don't think they touch on it for Forbidden Door because I think that's when we've got Mystico and MJF, and Hangman will fight someone from New Japan. I think that makes most sense. But then I think when we're looking at going into All Out after that, or potentially Wrestle Dream Full Gear, that's when I think their paths will cross very, very intensely.
And but so sorry. What about you guys? I don't want to interrupt. I'll go last.
I think the obvious choice is MJF, which is why I don't think it will be MJF as his next opponent. Because if you guys paid attention over the weekend, Mystico had a match over this past weekend in MLW, and who showed up after his match? MJF showed up and attacked Mystico once again. So I say this Wednesday for the 4-way match for the number 2 spot, it's MJF, Brody King, AR Fox, and Anthony Bowens. I say look out for Mystico to cost MJF the number 2 spot. Now that doesn't mean that if you're Mystico, like how many times he unmasked you at Grand Slam, he attacked you at MLW. Like, dude, if there's a proper time to come and get some sort of get some sort of revenge, like it's to cost MJF like potentially one of the best spots to win the match, because you want to be either number 1 or number 2, like from a logical standpoint in the casino. Because remember, there is no set amount of wrestlers to enter the match, and it could legitimately, I mean, it won't because it's at All In, but it could theoretically end within the first 2 wrestlers before anyone comes in. And I'm like, if you're Mystico, like, why would you not choose this time to fuck over MJF to cost him the number 2 spot? That doesn't mean he won't be in the gauntlet match, as we all know.
I'm sure that everyone that's going to be in these qualifiers, surely they're going to be in the gauntlet match. If they're fighting to become second, surely that's because they're already in the actual match itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So I think the key question here is, who is MJF going to face at Forbidden Door that's not... Because they should have the... Sorry, who is Hangman, going to face at Forbidden Door that's not on the AEW roster? Because I don't think they should do 2 years in a row. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion. I know that's why they don't like doing it as much, but I still think he should face someone from New Japan or CMLL, to be fair.
Okay, hear me out. Forbidden Door.
Or Rev Pro.
Oh yeah, actually, if that's a different...
Wait, hold on.
I have different
I didn't get my answer though for the winner.
Oh yeah,
the
go
gauntlet.
Sorry, dude. Sorry.
Sorry, Brett.
mean, listen, for the gauntlet match, I'm expecting a return or two, and I think the winner's going to be the returning Jay White. I think Jay White's going to return in the gauntlet match.
Fucking stole my answer.
I think he is going to fucking win.
That's harsh.
Damn, dude. But yeah, I was gonna say,
Listen,
listen,
don't mean it.
yeah, no, Jay White's gonna come back. He's gonna win it, and I'm like, dude, the story is right there, the history is right there, because even through Hangman's redemption arc, like, he still has not pinned in the ring yet. Jay White, it's still right there, and we don't know. Who knows if the finals would have been Hangman and Jay White.
That's what it would have been. The redemption arc, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
The redemption arc, pinning Jay White for the first time. Jay White was going to beat Ospreay in the quarterfinals.
He would have beaten, and I'm sure he would have beaten Jay White in the finals. But now I think, if he's 100% healthy, you bring him back in the gauntlet match, he wins. And, who knows where you do it. I mean, I understand you don't want to do 2 years in a row of two AEW guys fighting for the title. I don't know. Do you waste it on like the event of a Dynamite show? Or
Would it be at Forbidden Door? Would it be at All Out?
They could do it wherever. They could do it at a special Dynamite if they wanted to. Doesn't have to.
Got All Out in Canada coming.
Yeah, got All Out just afterwards, isn't it? Yeah. Is it the 2 weeks after Forbidden Door or a week after?
I think it's actually 3 weeks, because it's the 24th Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
And then the 20th it's in Toronto. So yeah, you got about 3 weeks after that. But I was gonna ask you guys, I mean, who's the big dog, like let's say on the British Independent or like in Rev Pro, that you could make a case to maybe face Hangman for the title if you were to pick a Rev Pro talent?
That's a tough one.
It's automatic to jump to Orku, or Jacobs.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'd love it to
can
be
I just
Jacobs.
have the one I? Yeah, can I just have the one I want, because it would be fucking hilarious to see him fight Tate Mayfair.
Brandon Cutler isn't in Rev Pro.
I know.
Tate Mayfair's would be amazing.
Could you imagine
yes.
what Tate Mayfair's would do with Hangman? All the material Tate could
It would be
use.
so good. Oh, that
would be. I would also love to see Cara Noir get a shot with like big production value. That would be incredible.
I'd love from just while you're on about the Who from the British scene, I'd love Leon Slater, but the fact that he's TNA makes that an impossibility.
Yeah.
That guy's fucking incredible.
Would you guys be against a fatal 4-way, one person from each promotion?
No.
No,
That's interesting.
I would be all over that. I think that would be the best way out of a tricky situation.
We know that Hangman's retaining, so you just want to make it's like the 4-way at Double or Nothing 2023. We knew that MJF wasn't dropping it to one of those other pillars, but they made it as entertaining as fucking possible. That's what you should do with this match. Just go we know Hangman's going to win. Just give us a 25-minute banger. You're right. Brett. That's a great shout. Let's have that. Yeah. That's a fucking great shout.
Absolutely brilliant. We can't have Tate then, because he's not Rev Pro.
Off the top of my head, obviously.
But New Japan, can I request Shooter? But almost as a bad guy. Go on.
Tate's been Ring of Honor before though, so technically he could still be under. I mean, there's a lot of. I know he's done Collision. I'm fairly sure he did a Ring of Honor match.
Did he wrestle Danny Garcia on Collision?
But maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. But Session was Ring of Honor as well, and she technically is still Ring, because once you're Ring of Honor, you're not Ring of Honor really, are you?
That's true.
Is that the way to get Tanahashi into a match where he can be not exposed as well?
I was just going to say that.
On the outside for 90% of it.
I was just going to say that. Do it. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Remember, let's not forget back at Double or Nothing that Tanahashi appeared with Brody King and was it Ishii as well? He's going to be in some sort of multi-man match.
He has to be.
Yeah, no, he will. I mean, I think. Listen, respect.
Are you telling me you don't want Tanahashi with Ospreay?
Sorry, that Tanahashi appearance at Double or Nothing seems random as fuck. The fact that there's been nothing about it since.
Yeah,
nothing.
Just the vibes, wanna.
Or,
They were like, go on, lad, out you go.
Yeah.
It's
Anyway.
like Bryan Danielson, he'll rock up anywhere.
Yeah.
Can I make a request for the New Japan guy then? If it's not Tanahashi, I'm probably going to get yelled at for this, but can we have Shooter? Going heel and avenging his dad.
I think that'd be quite good, yeah.
Death Rider.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Sure.
good. If Mox,
Hangman?
if Mox is involved in that, yeah.
Hangman, Shota from New Japan, potentially Mascara Dorada from CMLL,
Could be Gabe
and
Kidd.
Oku from Red
Can we
Pro.
have Hechicero instead? Oh, Gabe Kidd.
Gabe
No.
Kidd's going to fight Omega, isn't he, at Forbidden Door? Come on.
I don't
'Cause that
think
was
they'll run that
beautiful.
back quick. I don't think they'll run that back
It
so
depends
quick.
if Eddie Kingston's back. What Gabe Kidd does.
Yes. That's probably what Eddie. I'd say that's probably
If
Eddie's.
he's ready.
Yeah, that's the one he will want though.
Oh, no,
Tell us, are you ready, Eddie?
we're bringing up all
We
these
are.
names for Forbidden
Yeah,
Door.
anyway.
what does Zack Sabre Jr. do real quick?
Nigel McGuinness.
will- Yes.
Nigel McGuinness. That's nice. Everyone wants to see that.
Yeah. I want to see that.
And
I-
he doesn't want to see this.
No, I do want to see it, but I don't think that's what we're getting. I think there's a reason we've seen Bryan Danielson back in little bits.
Right,
I think
okay.
Bryan Danielson, if you remember, said to Zack Sabre Jr. because they were 1-1, and he said, "Let's run it back on neutral ground." It's not neutral ground, obviously, but technically, promotion-wise, Forbidden Door is neutral ground.
I'm still cheering Danielson over Zack Sabre Jr.
Yeah, same. But that's what I'm just as that's what they said. He said, "Let's run it back again on a neutral venue," meaning not either promotion's home venue. So
That literally might be the last
Wait a
time
minute.
that Danielson wrestles in England.
I know,
That
I know.
Danielson's going to be
stepped up a
wrestling
million
for the next
times.
7 years.
he'll be
He's going to be
wrestling.
a million.
He'll be
The
turning up
next
in
7
fucking
years,
Butlins.
he's going to be showing up at random
He will.
like
He'll
at
be on the
random indie
backfield
events.
wrestling the
Yeah.
geese if you don't fucking watch him.
Yeah, in the
Don't-
next
honestly,
7 years, he's going to be wrestling in freaking house shows
He'll
all
turn
over the
up and
world.
He'll fight Jinder Mahal in front of 84 drunk Northerners at Butlins in Skegness. Not Skegness. What's the one up near Lincolnshire? Skegness?
Oh.
Fuck knows, but he will.
Skegness.
he-
That's in front of 89 people. Pissed up lads from Lincolnshire. He'll turn up and fight Jinder Mahal there in a couple of years.
And do you know what he'll
He's
get?
never going to
Front row.
retire.
And do you know what he'll give Jinder the best match he's ever had of his life?
Fucking will.
Yeah,
No. To be fair, Bryan Danielson got a decent match out of Satnam. Like he genuinely did. It was an all right match, that, which I
Ryan
thought
will
was
get a decent
impossible.
match out of me. He could drag my fat ass to a 3.5 star at least. He's a genius.
He'd get
They need
a
to
good
give him
match
Ring
out of
Honor.
Sunshine Machine.
Hey.
I will
So-
fucking mute you again, Andy.
I thought you were going to shoot me
Fun
then.
or
Look, you're
Dana.
pulling a gun out, like. Yeah, no. So anyway,
It's
back
the
to
old-fashioned lady thing. Slap you with my fan.
it's not one of them ones from like the samurai movies, is it? It's fucking razor
From,
blades, isn't it?
Blades,
from
razor blades.
Katana from Mortal Kombat.
Back to where we were what we were originally talking about. Who's Hangman's next opponent? So Brett said Jay White in the end. He robbed my idea. Who's yours? Who do you think's going to be Hangman's next opponent?
Shit, I forgot now. Fuck. I was probably going to say Jay White, and then I got all caught up on it on Shooter. I mean, is it too soon for Ospreay to demand a rematch?
Too soon. Too
Yeah.
soon.
I
I suppose
so.
you don't have him fight at Forbidden Door and lose.
I don't think it'd be
Again,
Forbidden Door though. I think it'd
Swerve,
be. Well, I think that's way too soon for Swerve myself.
Jack Perry, just because I miss him
Get out.
and
Get
I
out.
want him back.
Get out.
It could
Get
be. He could turn up. It could be David Arquette when the prophecy's finally fulfilled.
It's hard to say because it's going to be Jay White.
Yeah, that's the
I can't
thing.
pick
I know.
anybody else.
It is going to be.
But
Jay
I'm just
White, yeah.
naming names.
But this is the
Him-
embarrassment of riches that
I know.
once Hangman wins the title, it's the embarrassment of riches their main event scene has. Like you could do a Jay White and a handful of other wrestlers before you get to the rematches with Swerve, with Ospreay, with Omega down the line. There are 5 or 6 legitimate guys that we might say that Hangman's definitely gonna win, but it's also we'll have like a smidge of like possibility of like can this be an upset here and there? Like what if we get like a match with Kyle Fletcher or maybe just a random I know you don't like face v face Andy, but I mean would you turn down a Hangman versus Brody King match if however the fuck you get there? I mean
There'd be a reason for it then if you won the gauntlet.
Yeah, if it's and it's going to be a one and done, isn't it? Hangman.
Yeah.
overcoming him. If it's a one and done, fine, but just not if you're building to a long feud. You know,
No,
that's the thing. I think that there's plenty. I mean, I think it's going to be JY, but I mean, I would like, if it's not JY's, I'd like Kyle Fletcher. I think Kyle Fletcher. I don't know how you'd work him into getting a title shot unless he wins the casino, but I think Kyle Fletcher, Hangman, that would be like the Ospreay match. He'd give him they'd give each other a hell of a match, and Kyle Fletcher would be able to get across like proper evil, would they, to Hangman's good guy. You know, he would be a great first real bad guy to Hangman's, you know, return to old.
He would, but this is assuming Hangman wins. Have you not seen the latest on Twitter? I posted something like Darby Allin's
He's not winning.
In an
He's not
interview.
winning.
Okay, you know what? Real quick, everyone.
Just let me.
No, everyone here right now. Here's what I want to do. From now until All In, if you're on Twitter, I want everyone to bookmark every tweet that you say that Darby is the obvious winner. Darby is the winner.
Yeah.
Bookmark it, and then we're gonna be like
The
fucking
Sean
Sean
Ross
Ross.
Sapp
We're gonna be
special.
like fucking Sean Ross Sapp. I swear to God, I will do my editing trick, like make a fucking collage of all the damn tweets of it, and I'll put
And
on.
to read them out.
We're gonna read. No. Like I'll do my slideshow on TikTok or whatever the damn shit is, and it's gonna be so fucking sweet on the 12th when Hangman wins.
Darby's not winning. I did see what you're talking about though.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, Denise Salcedo did a interview with Sting, who mentioned that Darby has been in touch with him the whole time he was climbing Everest, which is amazing. I love that. But Darby sent him a video from the top of Everest where he wasn't wearing oxygen gear. And I've said Darby cut a promo on top of Everest because he probably did. Why wouldn't you cut a cool promo on Everest? He probably cut a promo on the mountain, like against the mountain. Yeah. Fuck you, Everest. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people in my replies are going, well, now I don't think Hangman's going to win at All In, because if Darby's cut a promo from the top, I mean, yeah, you could argue that a promo from Mount Everest trumps everything else, but I don't think that's what he's done.
I think what's happening, and I think I've said this before, Hangman's winning because it's going to give everyone that feel-good moment that which you need at your biggest pay-per-view of the year. And no, if he doesn't win, like depression is great in wrestling, but you just can't drag it out for too long.
It would be too long to have him lose again.
I think what's going to happen with Darby is that he's going to come back and feud with Mox for a while because the Death Riders aren't going to be over instantly. I think Darby's going to come back and try and finish off the Death Riders. I think Hangman wins the title and he's done with Mox. And I think Mox is then Mox's attention is then taken by a returning Darby who wants to end the Death Riders completely. Because that, I know we said this before, but Darby doesn't need a title. I think we always refer to him as the Jeff Hardy, everyone does, but he doesn't need a title. He'll always be over. Him feuding with Moxley will be just as big as in terms of killing off the Death Riders as it would have been, as Darby, as a long running story of Darby winning the title. I think it'd be great, actually, if that happens.
Yeah, I'm not as doom and gloom as some people, like, if Mox wins again. Yeah, I think it'll have dragged it on a bit too long, but that's all right. I won't lose my mind.
Go back to the end of Double or Nothing, that feel-good moment when Hangman won. Like, we had literally, it's been so long in AEW since we had a great ending to a pay-per-view. Like, don't get me wrong, all the payper-views are great, but it's always the ending that leaves a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths since the whole Death Rider storyline. But it's like...
Look at the...
Listen,
they get talked about, though. Look at the one where they murdered Bryan Danielson. As far as I know, he's still dead.
That was executed fantastically, though. Wrestle Dream was. That was really good. It ran its course, didn't it?
That was the start, though, and it was a great start.
So it was a great start. It was a really good start. Like, even up to Full Gear, the match with Cassidy was a banger. It then got a bit repetitive during World's End. Cope came in, and it did fall off a cliff. For everyone involved, January, February, and probably March, it was crap. When Swerve got involved, it got exciting again. We thought he was going to win. The match did underwhelm, but then the Joe Cage match was good. All the multi-man matches they've done recently have been really good. January, February, March, it was really bad. April, May, and June, I would say everything's been a 7 or above. And the first 2 months of it were really good as well. Like, it wasn't the first 2 months were really good. Like, when you look at when the Bucks and Okada and that, they shit themselves because of them. It was really well done until it wasn't.
Yeah, and you say about Full Gear. Full Gear was the moment for me when the Hangman storyline became
apparent.
Because like when he showed up, that Moxley shit his pants. The look on his face when Hangman turned up was like, why is he get here? What the fuck? And it's the only time you've ever seen Moxley genuinely scared. And like, you know, I know like Sean Ross Sapp has actually said this because this has been posted everywhere with people still pushing the Derby. He's since said like Derby was obviously the story at one point, but that was changed a long time ago. And that's when I suspect it was changed, because that's when Derby was gone and when the focus really started to, you know, zone in on Hangman and what was going on with Hangman. It was more, it feels to me when I was watching and how the story unfolded that it was like a case of, at that point it was like, right, Hangman is the man. How do we now finish up his transition to the old Hangman again? How do we in the next 6 months do we get from here to there ready for the end of this?
And they've done it fucking well.
Oh, so good. It's been amazing.
So well.
They're there. They are there right now. It's like use an American football reference. They're on the goal line right now. They're just one final push. That's it to score the game-winning touchdown. You win. And listen, Hangman wins the title. You know what it is? You're starting a brand new chapter in AEW history, in a sense, because you, like I said, you go from the ending of Double or Nothing. Like it was the first happy ending for AEW pay-per-view since for forever. I mean, let's just call it what it is. And now, with that and a couple other outcomes on All In, you can end that pay-per-view on an all-time high. Everything is a complete reset in a sense. Like you can move forward, and it's like you're putting a lot of the negativity discourse in the past right now. You're moving on. You're taking the further step in. That's what we've wanted to see from AEW for the longest now. They've improved the on-screen TV product, like you said, from April till now has been top-notch in my opinion, and the storytelling.
I'd go further than that, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd say.
But that's my opinion. But I mean, listen, as much as we could talk about the main event Hangman stuff, like there was also a big development on Dynamite that it wasn't long on our TV screen, but it definitely deserves our attention. And that was that scene in the back where you had the Don Callis family like kind of conglomerating, meeting with each other, and in the background you see Takeshita just standing in the background, just arms crossed, and you see him looking around like, yeah, I'm not with this. Like they're talking to the Bucks and they're talking to Okada, like everyone's like one big happy family, and then everyone leaves, but you got Takeshita and Okada by themselves, and this was only 30 seconds. That's all the fuck you needed. Like we talk about aura and cinema shit, like this fucking stare down right here, this was the fucking cinema that I live for right here. It is alpha male versus alpha male right here. It is like we've seen like little hints over the past few months of like these two titans just on an inevitable like just clash in the future. And all Takeshita had to say was, this is temporary for now. And it's just Okada saying, yeah, okay, and just walks away. That's all the fuck I needed to get excited for this eventual clash between Takeshita and Okada. Now the question is, do you do it before or after his G1 run? Like, I mean, that's the interesting part. But whenever the fuck it happens, like I said, 30 seconds, that's all it took, I think, for me. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm like, yep, I need this. Whenever the fuck it happens, I will be seated. I will be ready.
Before they do it after. Yeah. No. And this is why they do it after, because while Takeshita is away winning the G1, which I think he should, you have Okada there showing Don Callis why he's the better choice. Is like, no, look, I'm here. I left New Japan and Kate chose to be here. He's gone the other way. While the cat's away, Don Callis, Don Callis, he cannot resist a shiny new toy. He dumped Kenny for Ospreay, dumped Ospreay for Kyle. He's gonna dump Takeshita for Okada, and that to me leads to the Young Bucks turning face again, because the Young Bucks recently posted something saying Okada is still part of the Elite.
Yeah,
but
I think
he
he's
ditches
alone,
them
isn't he?
for Don Callis. Yeah, he's not a full trade. If they ditch him. If Okada ditches the Young Bucks, joins Don Callis, you then get Takeshita winning the G1. He can't now come back and like save his spot in the Don Callis family. Kyle Fletcher's now going to become best friends with Okada. We get a jealous Takeshita.
I don't know about that. You know what?
I do.
Kyle Fletcher is the wild card in this situation, because we know like how good friends they are. They're the tag team proto sheet and everything. Like, I wonder if it's going to be an old school trope, like where Takeshita is, he's going to stick with Takeshita, like, I got your back no matter what. And whenever the eventual clash happens, like it looks like Takeshita and Fletcher are gonna stand side to side to fight off the Don Callis, and then we know what's gonna happen. We've seen it a million times. Fletcher turns on Takeshita, stabs him in the back. Protashita is no more, and then that sets up another clash of the Titans when Fletcher and Takeshita go at it. I mean, and then you know what? We talked about like the possibility of blood and guts. Like we've gone over this the entire year. Now another wrinkle to throw in. What about a civil war between the Don Callis family itself? Like I know we've said like maybe is it the Elite, returning Elite versus the Death Riders? That seems like it's gonna end. Like, do you see like maybe within the Don Callis family like just fracturing off like to two teams? One team is Takeshita, one team is Fletcher, and you know I don't know. It depends on how they build.
That's what you get Ospreay involved. Go on,
I
Andy. Why is it happening before?
No, I just think before because I would have them essentially write him off TV for a while, and then him go and win the G1, and then come back after they've forgotten about him more or less. Similar to what you said, but I just have him lose beforehand, before he goes and wins it, because he should win it, like you say.
He should. But what's canon in AEW is also canon in New Japan.
Yeah.
If they write him off with a beatdown, he then wins the G1. It's like, the guy their reject has now won the G1.
Yeah, maybe a sneak attack then or something. Something.
I'll take
doesn't
that,
have to be a match. I actually think depending on what the Don Callis family stuff depends on what happens with the Death Riders, because there could be splinters in the Death Riders as well. And I don't think they'll do both in terms of two civil wars, because the Death Riders are like that. See, I'm not sure whether it's going to happen or whether it's just a tease, but the court and stat now, aren't they? And she's playing it like she's possibly going to join him. I don't think she is, because to turn a heel again after the shit show they made of that overnight face turn, which is one of the only things I've really hated in the past couple of years. It really grated on me for some reason. It was just so bad. I think it would be terrible to turn a heel again so quick. But if they do, you've then got she's a heel, Trent's a heel, Rocky's a heel, and Orange Cassidy's about to come back from an injury, or we hope at some point soon he's going to come back from an injury. Do we get a heel Orange Cassidy finally, which I think they should have done a long time ago personally?
As well.
Yuta, sorry, yeah. Do we finally get a heel Orange Cassidy, which I think would have been so good if they did that when they could have, or does he come back and pull them all back together and drag them out of the shit?
Yes.
I did like the heel Orange Cassidy. The shock would have been so good, but I think it's past now. Like I think you'd have to bring him back. I still want to see it, but I think you bring him back as a face for a while on TV to get across to everybody that he is this good guy. He is Orange Cassidy, and then the heel turn would hit a lot more than being off TV for so long for me.
Okay. Now I think that it's going to be the Elite just because of the history they have with Don Callis. I'll never forget Don Callis just slapping Matt Jackson in the face and Matt like taking it and backing down. I think Jack Perry comes back, maybe joins Don Callis, but Takeshita comes back and sides with Good Boy Elite, and we finally get Takeshita and Kenny on the same side.
Perry's the wild card. Perry's the wild card in all this, isn't he? Everyone's forgotten about Perry. Like he's away making knives, like he's waiting for fucking CM Punk to come at him again. He's got these fucking shivs. So, he's ready to finish the old bastard.
He finished himself, I think.
Yeah, he's a fucking botch machine now, isn't he? The best botch machine, CM Punk. Can't fucking help himself.
That table break was fucking outstanding.
Well, I've seen people blaming the two lads for not catching him. His foot caught the rope. He didn't get over he didn't clear the rope.
To try.
Yeah, because he didn't clear the rope and it kind of like pulled his fall quicker. So I don't think there's blame on all sides, but it was a mess anyway. Whatever it was,
it was hilarious. It capped off a fine weekend for him.
I'm used to being the only CM Punk defender on this show, but I'm done.
You can't.
He's a fucking prick.
Yeah,
I've realised one of the worst things about him is it's this fake. It's the element. The last two times something really bad's happened with him, he's then gone out and what feels to me like he's made a real effort to virtue signal basically. Yeah. Like he went out, he's gone out the day after it got announced to go to Saudi, he went on a march. The day after he goes to Saudi, licks the boots, apologises, bends over for them, gets humbled by Triple H. All the shit that happened to him, he comes out off the back of that and then starts posting stuff when he's back home again. Like it's all so so fake and boring. It's just, he's so transparent now. Like, how do you not see what he is and what he stands for? This is a man that has been really strongly speaking about LGBTQ rights for so long. And then he's gone to a place where it's illegal. Like, like, fuck off, man. Fuck off. Sorry.
Well, have you seen
Fuck
the stick that the two girls whose hands he touched are getting online? It's incredible. It's absolutely disgraceful. Just because they put their hands out and he touched them, they're now being targeted in their own country. It's fucking crazy. Fuck him.
Yeah. I have nothing else to say about CM Punk.
He's just a fucking prick. He is like a... And you know what the best thing is? He can't even donate any of the money he'll have made to charity because he fucking did that performative shite the other week, didn't he? Oh, I donate loads of money to charity. I just don't stick my name on it like Chris Jericho. Yeah, fuck off, you prick.
Give it to Brett. That's what he said he wanted to do.
Me or Bret Hart?
Bret Hart, but he could give it to you.
Yeah, I think Bro.
The whole Goldberg thing. Brett should have got that money.
I'll put that money to...
No, they didn't get a bonus for Saudi. WWE got like 15 million or something, but I don't think the wrestlers actually get a bonus for going over there now.
That contract he's on must be fucking watertight. He must be fucked. They've got him by the fucking balls, haven't they? Like they just make it. It's like a fucking humiliation tour for him now, isn't it? It's fucking ace.
The little growing from Triple H, like, was like, I'm really proud of him. Like, well done, doggy. Well done. Here's a biscuit.
I know I said I had nothing else to say, but it does feel like I'm being non-consensually exposed to someone's humiliation kink.
It's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah, I don't.
It's the best thing Triple H has ever done.
Yeah. It's the best thing he's ever booked. It's his best original booking. Is I'm gonna give him like an inch, and I'm gonna take a mile. I'll give him another inch, and so now CM Punk's had about 4 inches, and Triple H's had about 15 miles. It's good shit, and it will carry on.
And I think it might have been Gav that pointed this out. But the funniest thing they could do after all this, the funniest thing Triple H could do after all of this, is when his contract's up, is just not renew him.
Yeah.
Because he thinks he's getting the fucking NXT job off Shawn Michaels.
I love the fact that that's obviously what CM Punk's put around there. Like, the NXT crowd seem to really like what Shawn Michaels does. Why the fuck are they going to change it? Yeah. The ratings are clearly really good for what the show is. It's got a really strong hardcore fan base. Why would they get rid of Shawn Michaels?
I think it's just
Shawn Michaels is the best booker that company's got.
Yeah, and he's got a fucking dodgy eye. He can still book better than Triple H, but I think it's. I think.
Oh my god!
I think with Punk, I think he leaks these things himself, doesn't he? Because do you remember when there was that story that came after he'd been there for about 2 months? It was like, oh, they're so impressed by his behaviour that they're even talking about a new contract already, and like they weren't. But like that was clearly him just fucking leaking it to fucking Dave and stuff. Because I remember after his AEW thing finished, like and like for ages he'd been going, oh, we've got all these snakes in there leaking information. It's Chris Jericho. It's this guy. And then fucking Dave and Sean Ross Sapp both said, no, it was CM Punk's camp that was leaking all the information.
Yeah, Sapp said, he says, who did you think we were talking about when we said people in CM Punk's camp? Who else is there? Of course it was fucking him. Yeah. I mean, and there's not been a leak since, I don't think.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what a crazy coincidence that CM Punk, since CM Punk got fired, that the leaks just stopped. They just stopped, right? Just crazy coincidence, right? Like a lot, not just Punk, but a lot of the former WWE talent who left, AEW, like the leaks just stopped. Like, kind of crazy how that works.
It's crazy.
Do we think we see more jump over? Specifically, would they take Danhausen?
I think they take Danhausen. I think they take him in a heartbeat.
I think he'll go. I know he's just had a baby.
I think his look, as much as I think his gimmick doesn't work in AEW, and I actually did like when he did the dark gimmick that one time, Dark Danhausen. That would have worked. That was good. But the whole comedy thing, it had its run, and it was never going to be a long-term success in AEW. I think that works in WWE so well that I think him and Mr. fucking Lizard become tag team partners.
Danhausen.
Fucking the guy from V. I think they become tag team partners, and
Mr.
the Visitors they can be called, yeah. And I think if anyone who's old enough to remember V will get that. And I think that Danhausen will rip his skin off, and he will also be a lizard underneath, and that's the end of it. And they'll eat mice as well. They'll be like,
nom nom nom.
Yeah, but I think that's what happens. I think he's nailed on it. And do you know what? Fair play to him, because I think he'll fit WWE like a glove.
Yeah.
His merch will go through the fucking roof. The crowd will love him. He won't even have to wrestle. He'll just turn up, do his little fucking stupid voice, and they will love it. They will love it. They'll eat it up, and he'll be a huge success. Fair play to the guy. Nothing. I just don't think he fits in the style of wrestling AEW myself. But him and the lizard fella will be fucking. They'll be like tag champs probably, ahead of the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah,
and Motor City Machine Guns, and anyone else they signed just for the sake of it. No, but yeah, I do. I think you do really well there.
Machine Guns. Yeah, I do. I love Danhausen. I like a good silly gimmick. In case you hadn't noticed, but I don't think they haven't used him well in AEW, and I don't think they can. What would they do with him?
That's it. I just don't think it works. We had Hausen for a bit, and it was funny-ish for a while. I
liked it a lot.
Hausen.
I feel like
I don't think they know what to do with him, and I think he sells merch like nobody else. My God, I own Danhausen. I think everyone owns a bit of Danhausen merch. I think it just turns up in your house. But yeah, as much as I love Danhausen. As much as I don't like WWE, I do think they would treat his character better. It's a better home for him.
I think
it's
they
like
would
rehoming a pet that you love, but you can't give it what it needs, so you send it to live on a farm.
I just think they're a better fit for him, and I think they would get far more out of him than AEW. They would be able to use him more, and they would. I just think it's a great fit. I think he should go there.
Their production would nail it. It would be brilliant.
And his curse thing would work there, because he could put curses on people and they could be fucked, because they've had zombies and stuff, so they don't care.
Oh yeah, zombies ate the Miz. The Danhausen curse. I need him to come out from under the ring when he debuts, because I need it to become canon that Danhausen lives under every wrestling ring. You know, like the monster that lives under every toddler's bed? Did you all have the ankle grabber? Was that just me?
It sounds like a Fed storyline, to be honest.
Cabin bed, so the ankle grabber didn't get. Anyway,
was that a WWE pay-per-view?
No.
Could have been.
The ankle grabber. No, under every ring is like L space. It's all connected. Danhausen can travel to every single wrestling venue by under the ring.
It's like
he debuts from under the ring.
It's like Super Mario with all the pipes connected. Super Mario World.
Long-term storyline as well. I mean, he put a curse on the Miz fucking 20 years ago, and it's, as we can see, he's never been able to wrestle since. So it all connects. It all works.
See, I'm the only one that likes the Miz.
I mean, did he ever wrestle to begin with?
No.
Danhausen can wrestle.
No, I was talking about the Miz.
The Miz, I see.
Danhausen cursed him before he even started. He cursed him when he's a reality TV star. I don't even know why we're on this. This is the most worst all over the place episode we've ever had. We had plans as well, and then we fucked it up at the start when we recorded, but didn't record.
Can we go on to like a very, in my opinion, the best moment from maybe AEW television this week, and that was the clash of the Kyles. Can we talk about the clash of the Kyles?
Collision
overall was amazing. It was such a good fucking show.
Andy.
Collision.
And listen, I didn't know when this match was announced as a main event. I'm like, they knew what they were doing when they put this main event together. They knew what the crowd was going to do. They knew what was about to happen. I mean, listen, when you put Kyle versus Kyle in the ring, like, it's just going to be Kyle madness for a good 15-20 minutes. But the chance, this is Kyle. Kyle is awesome. Kyle sucks. We Kyle people was my favorite. Was my favorite one.
We Kyle people.
You sit Kyle, and
you're not Kyle.
You're not Kyle. It was fucking amazing. Like, and I love the fact that Fletcher was hamming it up the whole time. Like, they were talking about him the entire match. Like, he was playing to the crowd. Great. But it was such a great main event. Like, I need to see Adam Cole versus Adam Copeland, and then with that being said, I need Roderick Strong on commentary, or on the side of the ring, just screaming Adam every 3 to 5 seconds. I think that would work. I think that would pop an amazing crowd. But Collision was great. I mean, a great match with Aminata and Sky Blue. Like, they were laying it in. I mean, if you know anything about them, like, they're best friends, like, outside the ring. So I remember Triple H a while ago saying, like, you don't hit anyone harder than your best friend. So, like, they were laying it in there. Like, that's not like, how we talked about, like, people, like, when they stop with their punches or I was like, when they come up from no, Aminat, she lays into that shit, like literally making contact.
We're talking about the Kyles. They had the amazing Adams match as well. Can I please request that Tony Khan never ever book wrestlers with different names again, because it was beautiful and we loved it. From now on, all wrestlers must have the same name. We've got Matts for days. They've got Adams they haven't used. There's Marks. There's Tonys. They could do this easily. There's no need to ever book anyone with a different name again. It would be lazy booking.
We still need to do Hangman Page versus Diamond Dallas Page, refereed by Christine Cage in a steel cage with an enforcer, Brian Cage.
On Rampage. Bring it back.
God. For one night only. One night only.
We're on the same page.
Yes.
But like speaking of people who don't, there's no.
I'm gonna click
There's
that.
there's nobody else with the same name of these fucks, because they're the most legendary tag team of all time. I cannot fucking wait for Collision this week, because the Outrunners are gonna fucking destroy FTR. It's gonna be amazing. Yes. It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be amazing. But before we talk about how much amazing the Outrunners are, the fucking FTR just from the get go just gaslighting the fuck out of the fans and everyone watching, like they're so fucking innocent and all this, like they're innocent, like why are you mad at us? We did nothing wrong. Like I mean, Cash is the fucking greatest at like just gaslighting, while Dax is just trying to play innocent ball brother out there, like, you know, like Dax you guys were serious with us, now you're just a joke, you're just a meme. When he called him a meme, I was like, oh, fuck me. Like, damn, just, I don't know about you, Andy. Something inside me just like...
Yeah, they were dead to me at that point. I still had a soft spot for FTR, but at that point, they were dead to me. I hope the Outrunners absolutely destroy them. I hope they finish them off. I hope that they have to retire.
Yeah. To make matters worse, some people know I have pet rats. 4 of them are named Dax, Cash, Magnum, and Turbo. And just before this episode started, Cash was humping Magnum. And then bit him on the butt and took his broccoli and ran away. So
I thought you were going to say he ate him then.
No, he humped him, took his broccoli.
We woke up
Unforgivable behaviour.
We woke up one day years ago when our daughter was very young and she had pet hamsters. Yeah.
No, they all eat each other.
Yeah, we had one and it was eating the other one. And its head was all turned inside out and everything. It was eating its brain. It was disgusting. Most sickening thing I've ever seen. We had to go and bury it and pretend it fucking... In fact, did we get another one? I can't remember. That long ago, but anyway. But that's not going to happen because the Outrunners aren't going to eat each other. They're going to destroy FTR.
Everyone's brains.
This is
the Miz and the zombies.
This is the most excited I've ever been about a Collision, because the Outrunners are on and they're going to fucking destroy FTR. It needs to happen. FTR can't win this, because where do we go from here? The Outrunners have to win it. But I do think I think FTR are going to win, and then the Outrunners are going to do the Rocky training montage, going to bring back up. But the only problem with that is I think FTR are probably going to win long term in this like feud, and I want it to be a longer feud. So for me, the Outrunners have to score a win early, and then you can have another 2 matches out of it. Then,
if you give Outrunners a win on a pay per view, it's going to start the day off right. You could move it to, you could have some sort of screwy finish on this one, then put it on the pre-show even if there's no room on the main card. Okay, give the Outrunners a win, get the pop, get the energy up. But that means they have to lose this time. Yeah.
Well, as long as we get a couple of Rocky... Truth, Turbo, you guys know the score anyway. You're going to do it anyway. Rocky 4 soundtrack. Warner will pay for that. Tony will fucking shell out for that. Get it going. Burning Heart in the background. You lads running up a fucking snow-covered mountain with the KGB chasing you. And let's fucking do it. Yeah,
you got chicken, but it's Mark Briscoe.
Yeah, oh fuck yes,
yes! Oh my god,
fucking yes!
Mark Briscoe's farm, chase some chickens around.
Briscoe should be the one to train them. Briscoe should be the one to train them.
Yes,
oh my god,
yes, because Briscoe knows FTR inside out. Oh fucking hell, it's amazing! That's amazing!
Give me the book, Tony. Give me the book.
Jesus.
Mark Briscoe is Apollo.
I can punch the meat.
Mark Briscoe's Apollo Creed. That's what it is. Go to the one who knows how to beat him. Yes.
Training montage. That would be beautiful.
This could be the best story of all time.
The day is vascular.
Hangman
is down to conglomerate. 100%.
Hangman Page winning the title is one of the best stories I've ever seen. His original one is the best story I've ever seen. This one is pushing it very fucking close to where it's going. Outrunners being trained by Mark Briscoe, chasing chickens, running to Burning Heart up across sandy beaches and up snow-covered mountains while the KGB are chasing them, would actually move it out of the way and would move both Hangman Page stories and the Tony Storm story down to third, second, and fourth. I don't know why I did it in that order, but that's the way it would go.
Second and fourth.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think perfect transition. You talk about Mark Briscoe. I mean, we got to talk about the promo that he cut on
So good.
MJF is Hersey. Listen, we have seen like so many chants from wrestling fans over the years. I have never seen a wrestler get over 2 chants within the span of a minute or two. First, he got an empathy chant over. He got the crowd chanting empathy, and then the most outlandish one of the night. he got kosher pickle. Kosher. Oh,
Pickler's Cage. That's.
Oh my god! He got kosher pickle chanting in the crowd all over social media to the point that Alicia Tout had to get out there to defend her man and say like, yeah, it's kosher, blah blah blah. But was it you, Lucy, who said like, is it green? That's what you mean?
Green? Yes, that was me. I was like, and Max, it's not tiny. It's a pickle, but it's not tiny. I was like, it being bigger doesn't help if it's green and lumpy, Maxwell. It's like brined and lightly salted. No. I had the Kermit the Frog gif. It's not easy being green.
It's
but yeah,
not
it's
easy.
it's a
But now,
kosher, but
now
it's
this
not tiny.
also sets up a potential Mark Briscoe and MJF feud. So this, like I said, this also puts another wrinkle. Like if Briscoe's not winning the casino, and if MJF's not going to be in it, let's just say hypothetically, let's say MJF's not in the gauntlet at all. Does MJF cost Briscoe the gauntlet match at All In? Like, I mean, if they're both in it, maybe they cost each other. That leads them to a feud after All In. I mean, that's another storyline that you have brewing right there. And reportedly, we heard reports this past week, like MJF has been calling for a while that he wanted to do a story or a program with Briscoe. And I'm like, fair play to MJF. I mean, that just shows like he's a true team player. And who the fuck would not want to work with Mark Briscoe? And I'll just say this right now. I think Briscoe is probably one of the most endearing wrestlers today. I think he's the best talker today and potentially the best talker in all of wrestling because, I mean, he's the most relatable guy that you can hear talking to him from a down. He's the modern day Mick Foley, in my opinion. Like,
Wrestling Mark said that a few times. He wants him to get that Mick Foley win, doesn't he?
I mean,
it
depends on who's holding the title and who he beats. Like, I mean,
yeah, you shouldn't be beating Hangman for it.
No, you shouldn't beat Hangman for it. But let's just say maybe
I wouldn't have had him beat Mox.
Maybe a year. Let's say 6 months, a year down the line. Let's say MJF is holding it, and you get that one shining moment. Like, imagine the pop if Briscoe would have pinned MJF to win the title. Like, and I would do it on a main event of a Dynamite because that is the one thing we have not seen in 6 years of AEW television. We have not seen the World Heavyweight title change hands on television yet. I think we need that moment within the
even if he loses it the next week.
Yeah, that's fine.
Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
We've been all over the place on this episode. And like this has been an absolute, like, the description of this episode is literally going to be, I don't fucking know. So before we move on to listener questions, which we have a fair few from the Discord, MLW, where do you think they fit into the Rebel Alliance? Because I hope there's a working relationship there because there's some guys I really like on that roster. And we also have the history in MLW with obviously MJF, Hammerstone, and one of my favourites, Richard Holiday. So do we think this is actually a thing, or is it a one-off kind of like when Jericho turned up on GCW and nothing happened since?
Well,
I mean, they've done it with TNA as well, haven't they? They've done little sort of mini working things. I don't see MLW fucking off to the Fed, like join the Fed.
Oh no, they hate them, don't they? So that's why I think this could actually be a thing now. You know, my enemy and my enemy is my friend kind of thing.
TNA have joined them. Even GCW have booked like, you know, ID and that sort of thing. Yeah, I think MLW could be a safe bet to have a regular relationship with.
Sean Ross Sapp suggested that this is huge, a lot bigger than people were giving it credit for because of the fact that MLW were really angry for when AEW took MJF essentially, and they're basically not worked together obviously in 6 years. So hopefully this is more because they do a lot of stuff with CMLL as well, MLW. So adding another indie to the Resistance would be fucking incredible. Especially on MLW, that halfway point, aren't they, as well, between indie and T. You know, they have a TV show. They fill out it's a small crowd, but they fill it every week. So yeah, it could be excellent, really. And Cruel's MLW. I love Cruel. He's a big fucking bastard.
I mean, you look at what Tony Khan has done, like with the relationships that he's had with multiple promotions, like not just across the country but across the globe, like adding an MLW to that and all the work they've done with CMLL. I mean, if he was able to, let's say, if there was bad blood in the past between MLW and AEW, like you said, with them taking Max in, but if they repaired that and they could have a great working relationship going forward, that would be huge. But speaking of working relationships, it was a little bit teased earlier today. Well, I don't think teased. I think it's going to happen in the immediate future with CMLL. I think a certain bull is going to make his return to CMLL. And listen, you talk about building, not just building relationships, that what Tony Khan has done for all these promotions. He has repaired that's a big relationship to repair. Right there with Rouge, with hopefully Dralistico as well. I mean, he got Beast Mortos on there a couple weeks ago in the main event. So it's like it's the bigger picture. It's the longer term. It's the longer game that he's playing right now, in the sense that he's repairing these past broken relationships to further like strengthen their business down the line with MLW and CMLO. I mean, he's showing a lot of good faith with those companies, that it's not just he's in it for himself or he's in it just for AEW. He is literally in it for, like I said, building that resistance or that coalition of promotions, like not just stateside but around the world. That's like, this could be beneficial for all parties involved. I mean, not just MLW and CMLL, but also with Maple Leaf as well, because Tony has sent over a whole bunch of talent over there as well. And even I think it was last week, Swerve tweeted out in regards to them working with CMLL, like, we are here to work with you. We're not here to own you. We're not here to purchase it. We're here to work with you. And in my opinion, the past year and a half, we've seen talent from both promotions go back and forth. Like, AEW has sent like almost all of their main event talent down to Mexico, like, and CMLL has done vice versa. So it's like, it's right there. It's on the screen that it's working out, I think, for both parties involved. And like I say, if he's able to get another relationship with MLW, that's just another check mark for Tony Khan.
And like, I know this is going to sound really condescending to MLW, it really isn't, but like AEW's talent pool is so fucking big that a lot of them aren't on TV for a long time, and you could easily kind of like send some of these guys to go and do a few shows over there or a bit of an angle and stuff to get them the reps, because a lot of these guys just don't get the reps they need now because there's no dark anymore. And a lot, unless they're out doing indies, if you've got a deal with MLW and you're working with them, you could trade talents, kind of like loan them some talent for a while and things like that. For some of the younger guys, maybe you need to get a bit more reps and TV experience as well. I think it's great. I hope it is a working relationship, because it could be fantastic for him. Fingers crossed. Speaking
of that, them sending talent out, there's one on Friday. Chris Statlander is going to Eve.
It's gonna be fantastic.
AEW has been very good to the British Indies. It's not just Rev Pro. They've been, they've sent talent over to a few, and hopefully we'll see a few more women coming over. I'm seeing Chris Statlander at Pro Wrestling Eve. It almost makes up for Alex Windsor not being there. But did we see the video package?
Yes.
The promo for Alex?
I think she debuts
my favourite wrestler.
I think she debuts a Forbidden Door, I think. Or do you think it's going to be the All In? Do you think the All In Casino?
All In.
I think the Gauntlet, yeah.
Yeah.
Give her a nice little showcase for like good 4 or 5 minutes. Let her, tear things down. Yeah. I think that'd be good.
So, anyway, we've gone really fucking long. So,
remember, we are cutting a little bit of it.
Yeah, but before we finish and we go to the listeners' questions, we will just say, essentially, you just said about Eve. Eve got a great show on this week. Chris Statlander against Anita Vaughan is going to be incredible. What other matches do we have?
I'll never miss another Eve show in my life.
We have Hard Up North. So yeah, as we say, Eve this week have got a great show. Chris Statlander, Anita Vaughan is going to be amazing. The whole card looks good. All of our favourites are on. And also Infinite have a fantastic show in Hooters this week coming up. Luke Jacobs is defending his title against Rob Drake. I think it's Rio. Rio's on. I think she's against Lana Austin, so that'll be fucking great as well to see who's the number one contender for Lizzie Evo's title. yes, Lucy Sky is in a mixed tag match with Hannah Taylor on the other side. The whole card looks great, to be honest. It really does look Lycos Gym are there, so I'll be extremely happy. I'll be wearing the new Lycos shirt that I bought to celebrate them winning the titles off somebody who is like a tag team somewhere that wear too much hair gel. And yeah, so that's essentially, we'll just finish off on the questions because we've gone all over the place. This is the most mixed up episode we've ever had. So apologies, but whatever. It is what it is. This is what we do. So, Dr. Mose, absolute legend of the Discord, big fan of ours. He's been supporting us since day one. We love him, even if he's comes up with some weird fucking questions. Permutations of the fallout from Monet winning. What are our speculations? I don't think Monet's winning, so that's me done.
Yeah, I don't think she's winning either. I think All In starts the fall of Monet. I think she'll lose her first one against Toni Storm, and I think one by one she will start losing one of those belts, and by the fall she will be beltless.
Screw it, I'll go the other way then. If Mercedes does win, it's not so much what's next for her, because then she has 2 titles. It's what happens to the TBS title, I guess. Does she surrender it? Because they won't combine the titles the way they are with the Continental and the International. There aren't enough women's titles anyway, so does she surrender that? Is it an Ultimate Warrior thing? Do we then put that up for grabs in a Battle Royal, maybe at Forbidden Door?
Yeah, I think the sooner they get the TBS title off, the better for me, because it's just, I feel like it's holding up other storylines, but I'm guessing that will happen with the storyline, the fall of Monet, really, so that's what I think anyway. But because it's Mose, we'll let him ask Terry asked another question. Who will Zack Sabre Jr. face Switchblade at Forbidden Door? I think we covered that earlier on, didn't we? I don't think he will.
Yeah, sorry, we already answered that.
I think my crazy crackpot theory is it's Bryan Danielson, but yeah. Donna says, what do you make of the possible partnership between AW and MLW? Funnily enough, we've literally just spoke about that, mate.
Just done that. We should read these first before we start episodes.
I think so, yeah. Amplified Snark says, I've said that wrong on purpose because he said we got it wrong last time. If Wrestling Mark comes back to the pod, ask him where he's been. He's dropped off, so we can't ask him.
He knew you were going to ask, and he left before we
said
could.
he's not.
He's going to keep it a mystery.
He's very sad that he's not been active on Blue Sky for a while. He lives for Wrestling Mark's posts.
We all do.
Thoughts on Zack Sabre Jr. beating Goto? And is there any possibility for Ospreay to beat Zack Sabre Jr. and win the title? I do not think so. I do not think they will put that title on Ospreay. I am glad Zack Sabre Jr. won. I didn't have any issue with that. I was quite happy anyway because I don't think he should have lost it when he did. So another run is great. But as it transpires, as we've all seen, it was an injury. So everyone should shut the fuck up.
It happened during the match as well, apparently, the injury. So if they've called an audible there, like they did with Mercedes and Willow in Stardom or Mox and Phoenix, I guess that's why they did it on a televised, like not a streamed show that we couldn't see. My only concern with that is if it was bad enough to have called an audible, then that means it might be a more serious injury than we think. I hope not. I hope it was just a precaution. If it wasn't an audible and that was the plan all along, I would question why they put it on that show that the international fans couldn't watch. But I don't think he's going to have it for very long. I think it's a Forbidden Door thing.
That damn Tony Khan booking New Japan.
Right.
Like, damn you, Tony Khan. Like,
I heard it was Mercedes Monet.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it was Viva Van. Yeah.
It was Viva Van.
Yeah.
Viva Van was like the fucking Okada video. Oh, sorry. She was playing in the back with the fucking booking. She's like, no, not having that, guys.
Yeah, Viva Van, why did you book Zack Sabre Jr. to win on a non-stream show?
The Viva Maniacs want to know. And they want. I hope they're all taking the vitamins and saying the prayers as well. So, Save has a fantastic question, which I don't think we're going to have enough time to answer, because he basically asks, you have to book Forbidden Door with 5 matches in it. It should be interpromotional only with the following companies in it: New Japan Pro Wrestling, AW, Rev Pro, MLW, Stardom, CMLL, and Surrey.
Can we do an episode on that, please?
Because she's the IWGP Women's Champion. What are your matches? Yeah, serve, mate. That is a fucking excellent question. That's a segment for next week. Sorry,
you're my new favourite.
That is a segment for next week. I'll write that down.
Yes.
Cull2K says if we use iPhones, we're just as bad. No, he didn't. He's not said that this time. He did say that the other day. Without adding more TV space, how do you propose time? Propose give it more time. I'm thinking of iPhones now. How do you propose giving more time to grow a women's tag division without, essentially without the same 2 or 3 teams we've seen? That is a really good question. Again, I wanted to go into that. I've seen that before. I thought that's going to be a great one, but I don't think I'm going to have time. That's a fucking full 10-minute conversation because it's a problem. There's not enough time.
I'd like the others to be here for that, actually. I feel like they'd
have
a lot to say about that.
I feel like we'd be doing a disservice. So, Cull2K, mate, I am going to save that question for next week, and that will be a segment because it's a problem. It is a problem. We spoke about it a lot. There's not enough time, and there's too much focus on the same women all the time, which means we're not building up the next challenges and the possible alternate tag teams. So, yeah, next week, I promise we'll keep that one. We have one that has been forwarded. I think it was Jamildo. Mike forwarded because it was in the wrong channel. I'm sure we've asked, and I'd answered a dozen times. Who do you want to see from the British Indies, and who do you think will appear at Forbidden Door? I think we went into this before, didn't we, as well?
Yeah.
We all just want Tate Mayfairs, even though he's not Rev Pro.
We want Tate Mayfairs because he's the
Sunshine Machine.
No, we don't want Sunshine Machine. Tate Mayfairs is the greatest. He's the most legitimate champion in all of wrestling. To the point where, as I said today, JBL keeps calling him out, but he's just fucking shitting himself. JBL hasn't got the balls. I'd say JBL, the audio company, has got more balls than that cunt. So, yeah, Tate Mayfairs. And outside of that, it's going to be Michael Oku. I mean, we could reel off a list, couldn't we? There's that many that we
Mine would have been Alex Windsor. I don't know now. Rio. Lizzie Evo,
and
Lizzie Evo, Mercedes Moné. No, Lizzie Evo, Tony Storm.
Oh God, that'd be good. Lana Austin, Tony Storm.
No, Lana Austin, Mercedes Moné as a tag team against Lizzie Evo and Tony. I know that makes no sense, but I don't care.
And I think Michael Oku. I would love to see Leon Slater, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Man like the Reese. I honestly, if I was Tony Khan, I'd be putting my stocks in Man like the Reese now before anyone else does, because he's amazing. Luke Jacobs.
How close to being healed is Dalton Castle? Because could you imagine him and Karen Noir having a little peck on?
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
It would be incredible.
He's healed.
I know they don't have the same.
I think he's wrestling at a Supercard of Honor next week. So I think
Dalton Castle. Is he?
I swear I saw.
I fucking hope so.
I think I saw the match graphic. He's fighting Nick Wayne for the TV title.
Can we have a section where we bring Dalton Castle over and we fantasy book the boys?
I just want Dalton Castle I just want Tony to pay for Radio Gaga so he can have the proper fucking music for once. I wanted it at Wembley. Do it at Forbidden Door. Dalton Castle, Radio Gaga against Cara Noir.
With Simon Miller as one of his boys. Please.
Yes.
Because that would be incredible.
With Lycos Jim as his boys.
Yeah. No, we want Sunshine Machine because I will point out that twice now in my comment section, FTR have called out Sunshine Machine.
Yeah,
they did it once in my comment and once.
Because they're scared of Lycos.
No.
FTR know the score.
The Outrunners because they want Sunshine Machine. Outrunners are obviously B team Sunshine Machine.
No. FTR would have the same fate as Sunshine Machine. They wouldn't be able to move out of the way of a flying knee quick enough. That's it. They're scared. They're staying away from them.
FTR have called out Sunshine Machine. FTR understand a great tag team.
Yeah, because they're going after easy pickings.
Yeah, the Outrunners, I agree.
No, Sunshine Machine. They didn't call out the Outrunners. The Outrunners called them out. The Outrunners called them out. It was the other way around.
The Outrunners are a practice.
And anyway, that's.
Is that it?
Yeah, we've already done that one, so that's going to go.
Questions next week. We'll have some sensible Brandon Cutler related questions.
And he's also asked another one. Do we think the tag division is struggling? Who do we say is the next tag team coming up? Would love to see more infantry. Yeah, we all would. We've said that. The infantry are fucking boss. Tag team wise, I don't know. I think Ospreay and Swerve could get a run if neither of them turn, and I think it actually could be quite good. We've seen that before with Hangman and Kenny when they had a really good run and it worked. two great single stars. I think. See, part of me thinks Ospreay and Swerve are too big for it, but I don't know. Whatever, stick the belts on them. That would elevate the belts big time. Outside of that, I mean, like you said, the tag teams division struggling. It's not struggling because we got the Outrunners. That's fucking bollocks.
It's running wild.
That's like saying I'm skint. I've got £1 million in the bank. It's not. It's an impossibility. You got the Outrunners. That is tag team wrestling. The Outrunners are tag team wrestling. They're the fucking greatest tag team of the last fucking 40 years. So whatever. And Aaron has. Sorry, I didn't mean to not let you guys. I just wanted to finish off the last question. But do you guys have an answer on the? Do you guys want to chime in on the tag team wrestling dead suggestion?
No, it's fine. I think they're doing something with Gates of Agony at the minute anyway. It looks like they're bringing them up with Ricochet.
Yeah, they're with Ricochet.
Send them off to Swerve and Ospreay. Why not?
And because I'm tired and I want to go to bed, Aaron, as usual, has chimed in with a question last minute. Usually misses us, and he says, "Do we think Morgan Freeman would?" No, he's not said that this time. He says, "What's next for the Ops, and should they and who should dethrone him of the trios titles?"
I think Hook's turning on them.
I think so. I think that
he's not happy.
He needs something. Hook needs something. He needs to change a character. He needs something. I would like to see that.
We just talked about it. I say Shane Taylor Promotions. Shane Taylor and the Infantry take out the Ops to be the new trio champion. Book it.
I think that's a good shout. Or the Undisputed Kingdom. Even though not the Undisputed Kingdom anymore. What are they called now?
Paragon.
Paragon would be a good trios.
Paragon.
No, but Shane Taylor and Samoa Joe mixing it up for a little bit. That'd be fun.
God, yeah.
Just
I'll take that.
Give me a nice promo segment with Shane Taylor and Samoa Joe. That'd be fire.
Or whatever. We've got MLW now. What about fucking Dynasty? Let's get fucking that going. What? Or let's rush this split from the Hurt Syndicate, or not rush it, and Richard Holiday and Hammerstone, or whoever you want to replace anyone with, but don't replace Holiday or Hammerstone. So,
yeah, you can replace anybody except the people.
Yeah. So that's it. It's
That's it.
Sorry, this has been a mad one, but it's too hot. We can't. I feel like I'm going to collapse.
We're struggling this week.
I can't think straight. Like the people who think Sunshine Machine should have won. So
greatest team. This TK Mambo.